is this emptiness within the brain itself, or something thought has conceived as being empty? One must be very clear on this.
Well, at first thought, whatever is discussed, no matter what the question is, the thought begins to want to do something about it, because thought feels that it can always make a contribution. Right?
Right.
And it might be useful, right? So thought in the past did not understand that there are areas where it has no useful contribution to make. So, but it keeps on in the habit of saying emptiness is very good. Therefore, thought says, I will try to do something to help bring about the emptiness. Because thought is trying to be helpful, right?
No, but we've been through all that.
Yeah.
We have seen the nature of thought, what is its movement, time, and all that. We've been through all that. I want to find, I've come to a point when is this emptiness within the mind itself or beyond it? I don't think.
So what do you mean by the mind? You see, because
the mind being the whole, emotions, thought, consciousness, the brain, the whole of that is the mind.
The mind has been used in many ways, that word. So
yes.
Now you are using it in a certain way, which is that it represents thought, feeling, desire, and will, and the whole material process.
Yes, whole material process.
Which people have called non-material.
Yes. Correct. I call it the mind is the whole material process.
Yes, which is going on in the brain and the nerves.
Nerves, the whole of it.
Yes.
The whole structure. Now, one can see this reaction, materialistic reaction can end. And the next question I'm asking is that emptiness within or without? Without in the sense, it's elsewhere.
Where would it be?
I don't think it would be elsewhere, but I'm just putting it.
Oh.
I'm just...
Well, any such thing is part of the material process. See, here and there are distinctions made within the material process.
That's right. That's why I wanted to get at. It is there. It is in the mind itself, not outside. Right?
Yeah.
Now what is the next step? Is that emptiness, does that emptiness contain nothing, not a thing?
Yes, well, not a thing. Thing meaning anything which has form and structure, stability.
That's right. Form, structure, reaction, actually.
It's stability and reaction.
Yes. Form, structure, capacity, reaction, all that. Or it contains none of that.
Right.
Huh? Then what is it? Is it then total energy?
Yes, movement of energy.
Movement of energy. It's not movement of reaction.
Well, it's not movement of things reacting to each other. As the world can be regarded as made up of a large number of things which react to each other.
Yes.
And that's one kind of movement. But we're saying that it's a different kind of movement.
It's entirely different.
Which has no thing in it.
No thing in it, and therefore not of time. Right? Is that possible? Or are we just indulging in imagination?
Right.
Indulging in some kind of romantic, hopeful, pleasurable sensation. I don't think we are. Because we've been through all that, step by step by step, right up to this point. So we are not deceiving ourselves. Now we say that emptiness has no center, right? As the me, and all the reactions so on. It is in that emptiness there is a movement of timeless energy.
Yes, well, when you say timeless energy, because we could go over and say that we've said already that thought and time are the same. That
Yes, of course.
And then you're saying that time can only come into a material process, right?
Time can only come in material process, that's right.
And now if we have an energy that's timeless but nevertheless moving.
Yes. It's not static either,
yes,
sort of.
It's flowing, it's moving. Right?
It's moving.
But, yes, now what is the movement, you see?
So what is movement? From here to there.
Well, that's one form.
One form. Or from yesterday to today.
Yeah.
And from today to tomorrow.
And that's, yes.
Another movement.
Yes, and there's various kinds of movement like that.
And so, what is movement? Is there a movement? I'm asking, I want to question it. Is there a movement which is not movement?
Well, yeah.
You understand? Is there a movement which has no beginning and no end? Because thought has a beginning and an end.
Well, except, you see, we could say that the movement of matter might have no beginning and no end, the reactive movement.
Yeah.
We're not talking about either.
No, I'm not talking about that.
But you see, so it's not enough to say it has no beginning and no end, right?
We must go back then to the other. That is, thought has a beginning, and thought has an ending. There is a movement of matter as reaction, and the ending of that reaction.
It's in the brain, right?
In the brain. That there are these various kinds of movements. That's all we know. And someone comes along and says there's a totally different kind of movement. But to understand that, I must be free of the movement of thought, material, and all that, movement of time. To understand a movement that is not...
Well, not only, see, there are two things. It has no beginning and no end, but also it is not determined as a series of successions from the past.
Yes, no causation.
It's not a series of causes, one following
of
another.
Of course. No causation.
But, see, matter can be looked at as a series of causes, though it may not be adequate. But
yeah, I understand.
But now we're saying this movement has no beginning and no end, and it is not the result of a series of causes, one following another without end, right?
No. So, sir, I want to understand, verbally even, a movement that is not a movement. I don't know if I'm making...
Then why is it called a movement if it is not a movement, right?
Because it's not still.
Yes.
It's not... It's active. It's
Active,
dynamic.
Yes, it's energy. Right?
And it's tremendous. Therefore, it can never be still. But it has got in that energy a stillness. I don't
Yes, right. Yes, the energy itself is... I think that we have to say that the ordinary language does not portray this properly, convey it properly, but the energy itself is still and also moving, is what you're saying.
Yes, but in that movement, it is a movement of stillness.
The movement of stillness, right.
Does it sound crazy?
The movement can be said to emerge from stillness and fall back into stillness. Right?
That's right. See, that's what it is. So that is, we said this mind, this emptiness is in the mind. That emptiness has no cause and no effect. It's not a movement of causation.
Yes.
It's not movement of thought, time.
And
It's
space,
not a
yeah.
movement of material reactions. None of that. Which means, is the mind capable of that extraordinary stillness without any movement? And when there is so completely still, there is a movement out of it.
Yes.
It sounds crazy.